Hi everyone. Today I am back with a review of a movie that's currently streaming on Netflix called Geostorm. So I've always been fascinated by movies that are about the end of the world or more sci-fi. I love those kind of things, and if they're made well, I relish and enjoy them. And watch them more than once. So I hadn't seen Geostorm. Honestly, I hadn't even heard that much about the movie. Came across it by complete accident. And we're going to talk about that a little bit here. So it stars Gerard Butler in the lead role of Jake, his brother Max, played by Jim Sturgis, Abby Cornish, Ed Harris, Alexandra Maria Lara, and several other cast members, including the one more interesting one was Andy Garcia playing the President of the United States. So the story is about a space station that they have built that helped and protects the world basically from any major disasters, and the space station controls it along with the ground control. And they've shown that we have become advanced enough where we go up in space quite often. It's not that big of a deal anymore. Um, so it's interesting in that regard as well, but it doesn't show us that we're in like way too much in future. So you can buy in the fantasy, I guess, is what the movie is. So what happens is that the movie begins with Jake, played by Gerard Butler, who's the head person who built the space station, and um, he defies authority, like same old hero stuff that people do. So he eventually gets fired, and what we learn is that his younger brother, who he has a little bit of conflict with in terms of the way they've led their lives, takes charge. So they were both working on it, but now he's in charge. He works with the government of U.S. and everything, and the plan is for the PlayStation to be because sorry, space station, not PlayStation, is plan is that the space station is going to be handed over to the rest of the world, where many countries will be managing it together instead of U.S. doing it autonomously, um, by themselves. So so what happens is there are some bad people who don't want this to happen, and they have their own agendas, and the story is about how this creates a catastrophic terms of events happening around the globe, and then who is in charge of it, what happens to them, what happens to these storms, are they stopped, are they able to manage them, we don't know. And that's where the whole story of the crux of the story is. And they bring back Jake on the table to review and see why things are going wrong, and that and so that's the crux of the story. It released in 2017, by the way, and it's now on Netflix. So I was very intrigued by Gerard Butler's role. It's something he has not done before, not that I've seen anyway. So it was interesting to see him in the role. It was kind of cool for him to get into that spacesuit and be in the space station and enjoy that kind of thing. It was I the story was good. It was a good story. I enjoyed watching the events unfold. I was curious to see how if they were going to manage to stop things or not, how they were going to manage the conflict um, with the bad guys, and how they were going to end this movie. It was also, for me, it was kind of like interesting to see. There are some hidden characters in there that I haven't mentioned that play a crucial role in the movie, and there's a reason for that because I want you to actually watch. There's a lot more in the movie that I've mentioned. That's why I've given you like where the story begins and what the crux is. But the story has its layers, and it's fun to watch. So the good points are the acting was good, especially Gerard Butler and Jim Sturgis. They were really good. Even Ivy Cornish, Sarah was pretty good. Um, and then Andy Garcia, as always, good. He's a good actor. I've liked him in the past, so there was no surprise there. I hadn't seen Jim Sturgis doing anything in terms of acting before, so it was my first time, and I was impressed by his role and the way he handled himself. Um, the screenplay is good. There are a couple times where I thought the screenplay could have been a little bit tighter, but for the most part, they did a good job. Um, and the story is good. It's not completely unique, but it is still different and it's on its own way. So that's what I like about it. What I don't like about the movie, not a lot. I enjoyed the movie, so I there's not a lot of things that I don't like about it. The one thing that I had issue with is, and it doesn't happen all the time, but it happened a couple times where it was very noticeable, is they're using the green screen and the CGI VFX. Sorry, they're using CGI VFX in a lot of the scenes. Obviously, it's the space station and things happening around the globe. There are a couple times where I noticed that the CGI was not that great. You could tell it's fake, and that kind of took me away from the story a little bit, but it happens so quickly. You get past it, you move on to the next scene, and then you're good to go anyway. But it's important. But for the most part, I did enjoy. I think the CJV effects were great. I'm no expert, but I think for the most part they were good. That was a one time. That it was not good. I did not like the narrator of the movie. There's some narration going on in the movie. You'll see in the beginning and in the end as well. The reason is that a child did the narration, and I think they could have used somebody, an adult with a heavier voice. I think would have made a more impact. They were trying to make an impact with a child because it's a child telling the story, but I think that was kind of a hit miss for me. But other than that, it's a good movie. I highly recommend watching it. You can ever see it on Netflix. Um, I was wondering if you've seen the movie and what your thoughts are. Do you like these kinds of movies or not? Some people just don't, which is fine. But let me know, and please like, share, and subscribe my channel. And thank you so much for watching.